Good afternoon. Today is November 15th, 2010, 12 noon. I now call to order the General Assembly meeting of the Student Senate of Johnson County Community College. With that said, I will now allow for a motion to be taken after the previous week's minutes are reviewed. And from there, I will take another motion to adopt this week's minutes.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
All right. And for this week's minutes, for this week's agenda, excuse me.
Motion to adopt this week's agenda.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. All right. We'll now go through roll call very quickly and proceed on with the rest of the agenda. We'll start with Boyd.
Who is student senator?
Alex Rayonian, Senator.
Rochelle Hodges, senator.
Zara Chaudhry, Senator.
Patrick Costello, Senator.
Gina Gogno, senator.
Alicia Nichols, Senator.
Amir Jalian, Treasurer.
John Kohler, Vice President.
Corey Paris, President.
Mir Blazadeh, Parliamentarian.
Jeremy Walsh, Secretary.
Joseph Gideon, Senator.
Eric Nambari, Senator.
Samuel Chadwick, Senator.
Josh Hall, Senator.
Teresa Artanto, senator.
Becca Yahi, Senator.
Sam Woolman, Senator.
We'll now continue with our advisor, Mindy Kevin.
Mindy Kitteman, advisor to Student Senate.
Sorry, I didn't get it all out. Ms. Cole.
Odette Cole, advisor.
Ms. Cole.
Morgan Cotto, guest.
Jacob Hashem, guest.
Calvin Clark for prospective senator, I guess.
Joseph Perry, guest.
Tamika Perry, guest.
Mike Cooper, guest.
All right, wonderful. Welcome to all of our guests and to our prospective senators. Thank you for being here with us today. We greatly appreciate you. And we're going to have a very work-filled meeting today, so thank you for being here. I'll now yield 10 minutes to the Vice President of the Gospel Choir Club. Ms. Vice President, and I'll yield time over to you.
As you can see, we have 4 representatives back here for the Gospel Choir. We have Odette Cole, advisor, President Joseph Perry, and then Tamika Rosenberg, and sorry, I forgot your name. He's kind of Mike Cooper? Mike Cooper, there you go. And they're all representing the Gospel Choir, and I will now turn over to Joseph Perry to speak about the Gospel Choir.
Well, good morning, or afternoon. We're here just to represent the Gospel Choir, hopefully to make an appeal, to make an official organization. As all of you know, music is a big part of everybody's lives. It pulls people together. It's just one of those things that when there's nothing else, there's music. And if, you know, all of you have been in situations where you were upset or got in your car, turned the radio on, or when you're room, close your door, cut your radio on, and you just want to just listen to your music, and it kind of took you to a place where you were able to deal with or cope whatever the situation was. Well, the Gospel Choir, that's exactly what we're about. We're about bringing together everybody. Everybody knows music is the universal language, so it's not about ethnicity or any of those boundaries. We just want to bring everybody together and do something that we all enjoy, which is sing, but we want to sing for a purpose. Why is it the Gospel Choir, not just a choir? Because we want to hold folks to a moral standard, to an ethical standard. We don't want just anybody representing Johnson County Community College. And so we have the Gospel Choir so that it can be something that represents the school and represents the school in a positive light. We've got a lot of ideas as far as fundraising and things like that to help bring back to Johnson County Community College financially and to the community. And so we're just asking for your support in that endeavor.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments that you'd like to say? Corey?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Congratulations, first off, to the Perrys, because they recently just married and they're newlyweds. So this is a wonderful and continuing on in that, as a firm faith believer and as a person with strong faith, I think this is absolutely vital to our student body to have a Gospel Choir Club available on campus, and I salute all of you for all the great work that you're doing. And I salute you for taking this charge to want to start this. And I hope for the very best for you. Of course, I will abstain from this vote because I am a part of the Gospel Choir Club. I'm tone deaf, but that's all right. We can work that out. It's for praise. It's for for our Savior, so that's all right, make a joyful noise. But I really just want to commend you on this, and I urge all senators to sincerely think about this when voting today. But congratulations once again. Mr. Vice President, you'll turn back over to you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
And you're, once again, sorry about that. I just noticed, looking down the organization, how organized you actually are, because my goodness, you're running like a mega corporation with all the offices that you have. You have more offices than we have here in the Senate. And I think that's, quite frankly, remarkable, and I think that you have a different office for each spectrum of the club that you'll probably need, and I think that's great. And also the committees, I like how you also not just go along with praise and worship, but you also involve community service, budgeting, and drama and dance. And if you want something from Senate, we can definitely give you drama from a lot of these senators and executive board members. But I think that's great at how organized you are. Now, I really yield the time back to you. That's.
I had a quick question. So, I appreciate how ambitious you are, but do you guys actually have the members to fill these offices? Because I find in my own club, I don't have enough members to fill the offices of my own club. So I'm just wondering how you could fill the offices of these clubs if you don't have enough members.
Well, first and foremost, and I guess I should have involved this when I was giving you guys an idea. I'm not a stranger to this. This is my profession. This is what I do. I am a minister of music. It's how I make my living. I've been dealing with folks and choirs and playing and teaching for about 15 years now. I'm only 28. So these are things that can all be worked through. Right now, it's still a tentative thing. We're trying to make it official. We've had a lot of feedback on people being interested. I think that once we make it official, we'll give the folks. But do understand that with all of these positions, even if we don't have the people to fill them, we're very capable of making sure all of these tasks are taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments from any of the club members? Okay, if I could, thank you all for coming. If you could all step out, we'll call you back in after we discuss a little bit.
Something I did not notice until just now, but they are participating in multiple community service activities this year, including the United Way campaign, food drives, back to school supplies, as well as benefit concerts and musicals. That's amazing. That's something that no other club and organization has ever brought to this General Assembly. Never before. I think that's wonderful.
I have a question though. Being that this is a religious-based type thing, does anybody check to see if that's allowed in a public school?
Well, it is allowed, Mr. Secretary, because I mean we do have 4 or 5 Christian organization groups here on campus. We also have a Hindu group, a Buddhist group, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe we have an atheist group. So why not have a gospel group?
Okay.
Thank you for the question.
Go ahead.
Well, what I really like about this group is that they wanted to represent the school, and they wanted to contribute to Johnson County Community College and the community around us. And those are really important things that we want from our clubs and organizations here on campus.
And I'd also like to point out, I had spoken with Tamika up in the CSI, and she was really on the ball about figuring out what's going on with the application process and everything. So they're really, I assume that they're going to be very active as they show forth on the sheet they gave us. So, Joseph.
The one thing I really like is they're approaching it from benefit to the community and the school and first. I really like that. And one of the things we looked at in the budget committee is, and that's some of the questions we asked, benefit the community, benefit to the college, and benefit to the student. All those things I think we put that really well.
Yes. So we'll now move forward into the voting process.
Okay.
Thank you. We need a quorum of
Majority.
We need a majority. So with that being said, all those in favor? those not in favor? All those abstaining?
Are you also Mr. Vice President? Okay. Oh, boy. Mindy, if you, son.
Mindy, would you please come back in? I'd like to congratulate you guys. You guys are now an official club here on campus. If you have any other questions, comments, you can either contact me or Mindy, any of us senators, and we can get with you and fill you in on anything you might need. The Center for Student Involvement is a great place to go, and it's up in COM 309, and Mindy can help you out. And it's just a great place where everything's housed for clubs and organizations.
Now, I'm very proud of all of you, but in order to make you a full club and organization, you have to sing. I have my favorite hymn. If you all could just sing a little bit of it, I greatly appreciate it. I think the Senate would appreciate it as well. Wouldn't you all appreciate that? So now, "The Blood Will Never Lose Its Power" is one of my favorite. Anybody know it? Anybody at all? Precious Memories. Anybody know Precious Memories? Amazing Grace. Everybody has to know Amazing Grace. Get out of here. What?
With that being said, you guys are free to stay or free to go if you guys have something you need to get to. So, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Congratulations once again. All right. With that said, we'll now continue on to the next item on our agenda, which is the rental books issue brought up by Chris Worthington. Unfortunately, Mr. Worthington is not with us today, so we will now move and omit that part of the agenda straight into T-shirt voting. And I will allow for the parliamentarian and vice president to pass around ballots. I'll explain how the voting process will go. Can I actually steal one of those? Thank you. We'll explain, okay. We'll explain how the voting process will go. We'll vote on it. We'll make it very easy. Past years, this is probably one of the most divisive issues on Senate. Let's not make that happen this year. I want to get through it very quickly. I'm sure all of you will want to as well. Coming around, you'll see nicely printed colored copies by our advisor. 4 different samples of shirts sent in by all of you. Also with 5 different quotes and an open line for a quote for you to have a write-in. With that said, I've strongly encouraged oh, okay, 5 shirts, excuse me. Senator Costello has his shirt on, which can also be a Senate shirt that we could vote on, and also Senator Nichols, if we would like to repeat the past. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was your shirt. So we could also, would you mind coming up here, Pat? We'll have Pat sit behind us and model it, so that could be another vote that you could have.
So on the front it says, "I'm a JCC student senator." On the back it says, "Ask me a question." So it's like engaging people, and they're like, what should I ask you? And then you can be like, well, I'm a part of Senate, what would you like to ask?
Do they ever ask you that on dates?
No.
Then don't vote for the shirt. But if you could stay up here while we do vote, and then we'll allow for you to go back to your seat and record your vote, that'd be wonderful. So I want everybody to take a look at this. If there's any discussion about any one of the shirts that you don't like, say, let's look at shirt number 3. You like the shirt, but you just want to have a different picture, something like that. And that's completely okay. It's all right for you to bring that up to us, and we can work on that here in Senate. I'll entertain a motion to bring that discussion to the floor. So, while they're recording the vote, I have a surprise for each and every one of you. And I want to actually bring that surprise up, Mr. Vice President, if you don't mind helping me with this. It's a pretty heavy box. All right. Oh, thank you. There you go. Well, this is, I feel like we're on Home Shopping Network. The new item that we have here is actually a book on the 40-year history of our school from 1969 to 2010. If you continue to look, the book is hardback. It's hard. It's a black cover and black binding. And the book has a wonderful title called The Pride of the Past and
The Promise of the Future.
Yes! And guess what? This book can be all yours to take home as a holiday gift for the great price of $0, because this was given to us by the foundation as a gift to you senators from us executive board members. So this is also another way for us to stay in office for the rest of the year, so you all don't throw us out with 2/3 majority, which you probably don't know about, and I just told you. Congratulations. So, with that said, this book is, in all seriousness, it's a beautiful book. It's a wonderful book.
Wonderful read.
Yes, it is. I gave the Vice President his copy this morning. It was actually a gift from the foundation who gave it out at Some Enchanted Evening, which is a huge dinner that brings in almost $30,000 a table every single year and goes towards scholarships, which I'm sure each and every one of you are recipients of. So as a gift from us to you, because we love you and we want you to know about the very history of your school, we're going to pass around a copy for each and every one of you. It has a letter from Dr. Callaway, from Governor Mark Parkinson, and this is your very own copy to have for yourself. So we'll start here with Senator Gideon, and if you could pass down, we'll go from there. Merry Christmas. Don't say I never gave you nothing. Any questions about the book? Anything at all? It's actually some very interesting pictures while these are being passed out. I'll be sure to show you one. Andrew, you also get a copy for all the hard work you do as well. Yes. I know how excited you are about that.
Can I get a student Senate t-shirt that says cameraman on the back too?
You know what? I think we can make one. As long as I get one that says The Enforcer, you can get one that says cameraman on the back. But there is a picture when you all get the book on page... on page 34, that I think all of you will find, 4 more, that you all will probably find very interesting. It shows how much parking we had back in the day, because we had no roads back in the day. Did you get a copy? And did you two, did you get your copies? Well, Merry Christmas. You're welcome. And Andrew, I'm going to actually take your copy and I'm going to slide it down to you for you. So if you have it.
Nice.
That's all right. As I said, today's a little bit of a chill, relaxed day as we go the week before we go into another holiday break. And I felt that it'd be fitting for all of you to have a gift from our heart school. Hold on. From our heart school to yours, because it's very important to know where you come from in order to know where you're going to go. So we have a prideful past, and we're going to have a promising future, and each and every one of you are going to be a part of that. So with that said, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please don't call Home Shopping Network to try to find these books either. So with the t-shirt voting going and still in process, we'll now take the next item on the agenda, which is the letters to soldiers. I'm going to allow the advisor to also get in on this, and then I'll chime in whenever we have a piece of time. So Mindy, I'll now yield the time over to you. I'll yield 5 minutes.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks for warning me about this.
You're welcome.
One thing that we've talked about doing, I think last week we mentioned it as videos for soldiers. It's not actually videos, it's letters. So what we would like to see is every senator write a letter. And what we're going to do is send those off. These are going to be like holiday wishes that'll go to members of the military. We need to get these out by December 10th. So what I am asking for is if we could get these by that first meeting in December.
Yes.
I don't know what day that is. I can check.
You have the first meeting in December. Thank you. Oh, Senator.
If the phone's off, it's the first. Phone's off, it's just the plan.
It's different. It's December the 1st.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
It's the 6th. Except we don't have a meeting that day because we'll be at photos with Santa. So
still be turned in,
Yeah.
they can be turned in
Yes.
through your mailboxes, which we're strongly advocating for. There's some senators in here who have not even gone to your mailboxes as of yet, which you need to go and check. They're upstairs in the CSI, have your names on them. Our new ones, we have to get the names for. We do have, so with that said, I expect, here we go. Everybody ready for this? Everybody ready for this? Okay, I need to hear somebody.
Ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. I expect for each senator to write 5 letters. 5 letters for the men and women who protect, serve, and honor this country in uniform.
And we will send you guys an email with the information of what you can include in there. So expect that in your email sometime.
How many letters are you all sending?
5.
How many?
5.
One more. 5 or more.
Wise talker. All right, so 5 or more is just fine. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Appreciate that. With that, yes.
It's a little unclear. Will the email explain what you want us to write about?
Well, like what you can cover, like,
And I think it's good to be personal.
yeah.
So you come from a personal side. I think that's the most important part. It comes from the heart.
I didn't know if it was going to the unit or to somebody in particular.
Well, you know what? From my previous experience with this, it usually is sent to the unit and then it goes to a specific person. You won't get the specific person's name, but a general card will be just fine. So I wouldn't call, of course, don't call anybody Bob when their real name is Betsy. That won't help. But just say to whom it may concern, dear faithful friend in uniform, so on and so on.
Okay.
Thank you, Senator.
Amnesty International, my organization, we write letters, and it said that the people who we write to said that what they get the most out of it, and it gives them the most hope when you actually include personal things about your own life, what your day-to-day life is like. That they feel that somebody cares about them, or that just to tell them about their own life is really helping a lot.
Well, I think it would be a great idea as well is to express how much you really appreciate the freedom that you have in this country. Think about that. And how much you appreciate them fighting for that freedom that you now have in this country, or all have always had in this country. Okay? All right. Thank you, Mindy. Appreciate that. Jumping back, we do have the results for the shirts. I'll allow for the treasurer to entertain us with those results. Oh, I should probably tell you the results. and then it's right there.
Okay.
Last one.
So everybody voted, and our quote that's going on the shirt comes from Martin Luther King Jr. Our lives begin to end the day we remain silent about the things that matter. And the shirt that was most popular and got voted on was the very bottom one. That one. That's your new shirt.
Oh, sorry. I'm just a little bitter because our shirt with the 3 guys on the front didn't get picked, but whatever. I'll make sure that the executive board gets theirs with the Golden Boys on it. So, moving on to the next agenda item, jobs for service projects will allow for Teresia, if you have anything for jobs for this November, okay. I did bring more clothes for you today. I stayed up to 1:30 last night cleaning out my closet, so some good things in there for you. I didn't bring any underwear. And then we'll now move on to Senator Nichols to talk about the December project, which is fastly approaching us.
Okay, well, I have compartmentalized, I guess, everybody that signed up so far. If you haven't signed up yet, I do still have the sign-up sheet, so if you haven't signed up, go ahead and pass it.
Oh, thank you.
And then I'll add you to the list. What was I gonna say? For each of the shifts that I've made, I've got different people doing different jobs. So if you want to find out what your job is, just come see me. And then because we're doing this instead of our GA meeting, I need 3 people to help with refreshments during our normal GA meeting time. I need 4 people to help with the photographer. I need somebody to help keep the line organized. I need some greeters to help greet people to come into the room. And then I need several people to go out into the hallways and down into the commons area and get people to let them know that we're having the event upstairs and that there's free food and whatever else. And my goal is to have everybody rotate jobs so that nobody's stuck doing the same thing for the whole day. So anyway, I think that's.
And everybody does know, so that you know now, Mr. Secretary, if you don't do your job, you're in trouble. Purely simple as that, okay? You are on Senate that requires you to do events, that requires you to be a part of every event that we put on and every event that's here on campus, which means that you have to be present, you have to help work, you have to help set it up, you have to be there as a liaison for the student body. You need to be there. Point blank, simple. Smack it, rub it, flip it down, whatever you want to go with it. You have to be there. Okay? Got it? Sounds good. So whoever is not there, it's not going to, we're going to have to come down on you. We'll have a talk with you personally about that to address the situation of why you were not there. But I think Alicia's done a wonderful job with putting together a schedule to where everyone can be a part and have no reason or excuse not to be there to help out. Does that make sense? Wonderful. With that said, I want to thank the senators also who were there at the town hall last Wednesday. Wonderful job showing up. For those of you who weren't there, I expect to see you there next time. Sam and Zara actually brought in brown bag luncheons, and I thought that was hilarious. And you got some brownie points with us with bringing in brown bags. I really admire that. You all are doing a great job. Also, one other thing, the town hall we had a great turnout, even better turnout than the time before. It has been suggested to us that we move rooms and get a bigger room because we are getting so many people. So, the next town hall is December the 8th. I'll say that one more time, December the 8th, 12 to 1. We're working on the room now to get a bigger room. That means that each and every one of you needs to bring someone with you on top of being present yourself. Is that clear to everyone? If by chance you have class, because I know this question is going to come up, so I'll address it right now. If by chance you have class or work, send 2 people in your place. Okay, so that covers for you and the person that you're supposed to bring along. Is that clear to everyone? Wonderful. Thank you, Alicia.
Hey, Alicia, I want to ask a question real quick. Is it possible if you keep your sign-up sheet over in the CSI so that anybody who may not get a chance to sign it right now can go up there and sign it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can post it on my door. Okay.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. We'll now move on to exec board announcements, starting with the secretary, working our way down to the treasurer. Mr. Secretary, I now yield over the time to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are doing the Public Relations Committee this Wednesday at COM 102, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Anybody who's interested, more than welcome to attend. And that's about all I have to announce with that.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I now yield the time over to the parliamentarian. Mr. Parliamentarian.
Rules and conduct is going to be right after this meeting, and I don't have any announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Parliamentarian. I now yield the time over to the Vice President. Mr. Vice President.
Yes, I would like to talk about the amazing turnout we had at Interclub Council last Wednesday. Thank you all that attended, all you senators. Just to give you kind of an idea of the numbers we kind of had. We had 25 representatives for student clubs and 3 advisors present. And compared to the previous weeks, there was over like 100% increase on the amount of people that came. So that's a pretty big deal, and it was awesome to just like run out of chairs for people. In this meeting, some of the important keynotes we could touch on were the SIFE is starting a food pantry here on campus, and on Wednesday at, I believe it is 10:30 a.m. tomorrow.
No.
On the 16th. No?
No.
Yes,
You said
tomorrow.
okay, because you said Wednesday.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about the Wednesday. It's Tuesday, tomorrow, November 16th. Dr. Calloway will be putting the first can into that, and it's just kind of a start an initiative to have this canned food, I guess, the food pantry just open to anyone on campus and the community. You don't really need any complete evidence or anything to take part in the food pantry at all. I don't know if we'll need volunteers for that over the course of this time, but it's definitely a good initiative that they're putting on. Along with that, on the subject of our president, Dr. Terry Calloway, tomorrow, everything's happening tomorrow. We have the conversation with President Calloway up in COM 319 from noon to 1 p.m. And I know some of you were able to make that last time, and I think that's a real beneficial experience to kind of talk to our president we have here on campus and kind of lend your voice to for your students, your fellow students, and everything. I have other information I can email out to you, just events that are coming up in the near future. So I'll send those out to you guys. And I believe that's about all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I'll now yield the time over to the treasurer.
The budget committee is not going to meet this week, but we're most likely going to meet next week for the International Club, if not 2 weeks later. If there's anybody who is interested in being in the budget committee next semester, send me in your class schedule and we'll figure out a time and a room to do that with. So that's all I have to say.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. We also have next Monday another team building exercise, which I think is going to be great. We're going to have Renee Arnett as well as Tom Grady come in, and they work with the career development offices, and they're going to actually give us the characteristic. You want to help me out on that? Is it the characteristic? Strengths Finder test. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I know for a fact that I am a wooer, a competitor, a wooer, a competitor, responsibility, and there's one more on there that I had. Command and communication. So those are my 5 strengths. We want to see where your 5 strengths are so that we can further put you along here in Senate in places where you can further exercise those strengths to the best of your ability. So this is what we're going to do. Everybody has to take the test. In order to save on time so that they can come and explain it to us in more in-depth detail next week, I'm going to get the test for you. I'm going to put it in your mailbox. You are to pick up the test tomorrow, on Tuesday, from your mailbox to take the test. Bring the test with you on Monday. The secretary will send out a formal notice to you reminding you to bring the test out on Monday. When you are here on Monday, okay, if you do not have the test, we're going to just move you down because you won't have time to take it, and then we'll further discuss everything else. And for those of you who don't have the test, we'll work out something. But it is imperative, it is vital that you do have the test. Is that understood? Sounds great. This is a great time to figure out what type of person you are, who you are, how to use your strengths to the best of your ability. These are strengths that could be used through negotiation processes here in the Senate, when you're buying a car, through marriage, through divorce, through children, through death, through birth, whatever. Rochelle.
If we've already taken it, the test, and we have our results, do you want us to just bring that?
Bring your results. Yes, if you've already taken the test, bring your results. Don't redo the test. But if you could, please let the secretary or Mindy know who has taken the test already, so that we won't put your test in the mailbox. Anything else? Mr. Vice President?
Yeah, there's about 36 different strengths on here, and it's really kind of scary how accurate they kind of are.
What are you?
Well, I am, Corey, responsible. I'm a maximizer. I have, I guess, high self-assurance. Relator and futuristic.
I can see futuristic.
Yeah, you all be futuristic and get this filled out so we can all get things covered for our next meeting.
Did you just say be futuristic and get this filled out? All right, so with that said, we're coming up on the Thanksgiving holiday. I'm sure everybody celebrates Thanksgiving. I know I do. It's one of my favorite holidays. I'm going into it happy because Cowboys won yesterday. With that said, Monday I'm going to make it a very special meeting. By decree here as president, I make Monday Family and Friends General Assembly meeting day. I think this would be a great time. We'll get some snacks to bring in for everybody to come and munch in on. We'll have family and friends to fellowship with us and to sit here and watch y'all here at work. On top of that, we'll be thankful for those who we have with us and also those who are away. So, who has people that they can bring next Monday to Family and Friends Day? Oh, God. See? So we're going to do good. So I encourage for everybody to bring people for Family and Friends Day. That will also go out in that email this week with the secretary. And that will be Monday the 22nd. We'll now move into open forum. Unless there are any advisory announcements. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
For those of you who haven't been up in the CSI today, or haven't seen the email that I sent out about this last week, Senate is teaming up to help Invisible Children raise $2,500. If they do this, not only will they be the top fundraising school in this area or the country, they will also be able to send one of their members to Uganda to see one of the schools that their contributions have helped build. So we decided that we are going to do a fundraising challenge with them. One of the ways we are doing so is by having a penny challenge, and the winner of the penny challenge gets to have Corey Paris dressed as a pizza delivery man deliver pizza to their next group meeting. So, please feel free to.
Just that futuristic.
Please feel free to stop by. Pennies are good, silver and dollars are bad. So if you want Senate to win, then you definitely want to drop those in the Senate bag. If you want somebody else to win, well, then put your money in their bag. Every club and organization has a bag, except for our newest one. They'll have a bag by the end of the day.
Wonderful. Pat?
So they're only accepting pennies?
No, pennies are good. So if you want your group to win, you want to put pennies in your bag. If you want another group to lose, like right now, Invisible Children has quite a few pennies in their bag, you want to make sure to offset that by adding silver change or dollars to their.
Wish I had brought the presidential dollars. Equipment and stuff, because I'm getting sick and tired of them trying to beat us.
Yeah, every penny's worth 1 point. Say if you put in a quarter, that's 25 negative points. Or if you put in $1, that's 100 negative points.
Can you just take it out and cash it in for pennies?
Nope. We're actually going to be tallying it up every single day, so it wouldn't be in there long enough. But no, you couldn't do that. This is going on now through next Tuesday. You can stop by during our office hours and drop off your change. So please feel free to help us with that. We have some other fundraising ideas. So far, they're not yet set in stone, but as those come across, we'll let you know.
Thank you, Mindy. I appreciate that. Thank you too, Pat. I really appreciate that as well. Also, this whole, I think the end result that we've been discussing is that if they win, this is when Golden Boys come out of our usual gear and we break out the dance moves at the halftime show at a game. So I just want to let you all know, and this goes out to the Golden Girls, and I'll say it right here into the camera. Anything you can do, we can do better. Thank you.
I won't lie, I kind of want Invisible Children to win.
Whatever. So, with that said, we'll now move into open forum. Senator.
Where are we at on the Constitution?
Senator, I'll now allow that to be talked about, and I'll yield time over to the parliamentarian. This parliamentarian.
It's going to be for next week, and then we'll continue the discussion next week.
I believe there's a private meeting, Mr. Parliamentarian, with yourself.
No, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
After your meeting.
Anyone else who wants to join that meeting to have your voice heard on that constitutional amendment, please feel free to join.
Wednesday at 4?
It would, 4 to 5:30.
Before 3:30.
Okay.
What time?
3:30.
3:30?
Yeah.
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Where are we meeting?
Com 309.
The war room.
All right.
Okay. Mr. Vice President?
With all this like amendment talking and everything, we've also been kind of discussing having it be a priority for student clubs and organizations that have representatives at interclub council, so we can bounce ideas off each other and really work cohesively as a group. And so we're kind of working through the wording of that, and that might be brought to the table here in the next few weeks or this month.
Can we take, I heard a rumor, and stop me if I'm wrong, that you want someone from every club to attend once a month, something along those lines?
Yes.
I will tell you quantitatively, my club, Model UN, there's no chance of us doing that. Partially because your meeting is at the exact same time, but also we're a team and we have to all be there.
If I could interject, Mr. Vice President, on that just very quickly. Thank you. Senator, respectfully, I will say I understand that Model UN does require everyone all of the time. Completely understand that. But as you know, here on Senate, we have been pretty lenient and I think pretty negotiable about where we can meet up in the middle. So, and this isn't just geared towards Model UN, this is for every club and organization. I want everybody to know this. I said this at Interclub. There's no reason why we have 60 clubs and organizations active here on campus who can come and ask us for any amount of dollar that they want. We're free to give them that amount of dollar, but they can't come and have a simple conversation about how to help the other clubs and organizations here on campus. Anybody else see the logic in that? Great, because I didn't either. There's no common sense to that. So, I am with the Vice President and the Ambassador on having it mandated that we do have at least one member from each club and organization. How many members is there for at least an average club and org? Okay, so out of 15 people, this is not going towards you, this is the entire general argument. Out of 15 people, you mean tell me one person cannot go once a month? We'll entertain some discussion from the advisor, then back over to you, Senator.
Well, I need to say the history of why this has come about. And a lot of the reason why this was originally discussed is we will send out information saying we need to update all of our club and organization information. I can't even get 50% of the clubs and organizations to respond to me. And so the reason why we've talked about doing this is to help support the clubs and organizations and make sure that we're able to get the information that we can. A way that we can do that is by catching people at Interclub, because I can't force people to come into my office. But I have to have updated and current information on every club and organization.
And really quick, just to interject here really quick, and Senator, I'll pass it over to you. Just want to make this quick point here. It is embarrassing when a student comes to the Center for Student Involvement, a student, and says that they have tried to get in contact with club organizations and their presidents, and none of their presidents have gotten back in contact with them. That's embarrassing. It is a mockery, all right? And it does not need to happen. This is another way of covering ourselves. You don't have to do anything very much to be a club and organization here on campus. Am I right?
Right.
We give everyone a fair, free opportunity to be a club and organization, to have that right. And you mean to tell me that you just can't come and be a part of that? This has to be something that I fully will push to be mandated. Now, I'm behind you 100% on that, Mr. Vice President. 100%. And we'll work something out. Mr. Senator.
Maybe if there was some way to have a caveat. I don't disagree with you that we probably should have something, but when you have the exact same time as our meeting, it makes it difficult. Maybe if you had a caveat and or meet with Mindy once a month.
Okay. And how many times does Model UN meet?
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Okay. And you're in intense trainings, as I would probably guess.
Yeah.
And there's not one person after meeting every Wednesday that you can send to that meeting once a month.
We're a team. We're assigned, and partially due to the budget, we have to cut down to a certain number of people, and everybody has an assignment, and we all have to work together. It's not like.
So somebody can't just go and attend and listen and say, this is what we're doing at Model UN? Somebody can't do that? You have to be a team to be able to say, this is what we're doing in a meeting?
No.
That's the whole point of the interclub.
Our meetings for Model UN, okay, I guess I could break down the structure of it. We have different committees. What we're doing in each committee needs to be consistent across our countries. In other words, we're Tanzania, he's from Tanzania, so we're Tanzania and Kenya. They're like-minded countries. As a matter of fact, they're border each other. We work together to work on policy of certain problems, okay? We're in different committees. You have to understand in policy as well as women's rights. Believe it or not, we have to be consistent in our message. Therefore, whatever speech you're going to give in economic policy, I have to know about in my community. That way I know how we feel about it. We have to work as a team and discuss as a team.
I understand what you're saying. I think what we're asking for is a much more lower level of detail. Not necessarily who's going to give what speech on what particular thing, but just this is what Model UN is doing.
Right, and I understand that. We don't mind showing up at all.
Right.
It's the exact same time. We just can't be too close all the time.
Mr. Vice President, Senator, and then we'll end the discussion there.
We're not at all trying to attack Model UN at all. We can work with you. That's pretty much what I was going to say.
Okay, that was a good job. Well, it seemed pretty easy coming from you. Senator, well now.
I just had a quick question. As far as attending these meetings from each club, do the advisors have to attend, or could it just be a student? Okay, just want to clarify that.
I don't even like to attend because it's the vice president's turf. He can surf on his own turf without any of us having to be there with him. But I think it's good for other senators to attend. As a matter of fact, it is a committee. I know Alicia's on it, Rebecca's on it. If I'm not mistaken, Gina's on it. So,
I'm on too.
oh, Josh is on. That's right. Well, you have to kind of be there as well as the president. So, more the merrier. But if the vice president and the ambassador said that they'll work with you, let's get her done.
It'll work.
All right. Anything else? All right. I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second? Meeting's adjourned. You all take care. See you Monday. Don't forget about Family and Friends Day, everybody.